I thought about my story long before I ever wrote a single word of it. You may be asking, well, what is the difference between a graphic designer or a creative designer or an author or whatever? Well, the difference is I'm self-taught. I did not go to school for graphic design. I don't know the terms. I just kind of design with how I feel in the moment. Everything that I learned, I taught myself how to figure out Adobe Illustrator. I taught myself how to work Adobe Premiere Pro. I taught myself how to do Adobe Animate. I taught myself how to write a book, how to illustrate that book. And, everything that I do today, I taught myself. I heavily rely on my imagination to get what I want out of a particular project, whether that be editing, video editing, or animating a series or writing a book. I come up with interesting ways of getting that job done, and that's what I feel is a creative designer, is thinking creatively to design something, to finish and design your project is basically how I look at it. I thought, all right, well, how am I going to do this? Because I'm a terrible speller. If you read my first copy of my book, you would see how bad of a speller I am. I'm a very bad speller. My first copy of Roscoe's World is just full of spelling errors and grammar errors. It's really bad. I was really concerned about writing a book. I thought, I can't write a book. Like, you have to know what you're doing when writing a book. You have to have all the right grammar, and you got to have spelling perfectly. And I don't think I can do this. I thought, well, all right, well, let's just see. So I went to Barnes and Noble, went to the kids section, and I just went looking through thousands of books. I mean, I'd grab a book and look through it, put it back, grab a book, look through it, put it back. And I looked at just a ton of books. And I always look for things that are not done the same way. So what I discovered was that a lot of books are either just mainly words and a few pictures, or they're mainly pictures with few words. Well, I thought, all right, well, what if you combined the two? Lots of pictures and lots of words. Who doesn't want to read a book like that? Lots of pictures, lots of words, right? So I thought, okay, well, maybe I can do this. Let's give it a try, right? And so I went home and I wrote it out, wrote a draft of it, and I literally checked it out. And I finished the overall, or at least my first draft, within like a couple days. I had already previously had been thinking about doing an idea. Now, I thought about my story long before I ever wrote a single word of it. It took me a long time to try to talk myself into doing this. I really didn't have the confidence to do this. I didn't think I could write a book, let alone write a good book. And so it took me a long time to go from, well, man, maybe I should write a book, to actually writing a book. I would say almost a year, because I started Roscoe's World 3 years ago, but I didn't write my book, and I didn't finish my book until, what was it, like May 2 years ago. Worked on Roscoe's World for over a year and a half before I ever wrote my book for Roscoe's World. Please make sure you're hitting that follow button, because this is going to be an ongoing series. Let's work together. Let's get this done. Let's build a community around this, and let's help each other out. I'll see you in the next one.